Daniel Ricciardo's bad season might go unpunished after all, as rumours suggest he is protected by Christian Horner. This comes as a bit of a surprise considering how ruthless both him and Helmut Marko are, but it does mean very good news for a very underwhelming driver. How will this change the driver market, and what does it mean for the popular Honey Badger's future in F1? Daniel Ricciardo reportedly has the full support of Red Bull team principal Christian Horner, despite a poor start to the Formula One season. Ricciardo has yet to finish in the top 10 this year, raising questions about his future in Formula One. The Australian driver entered the 2024 season as a potential replacement for Red Bull Sergio Perez, whose contract expires later this year. However, Ricciardo has struggled to meet expectations at Red Bull's sister team and is currently ranked 4 places behind teammate Yuki Tsunoda. Tsunoda has consistently scored points this season, with his best finish at the Australian Grand Prix, Ricciardo's home race. Despite Tsunoda's strong performance, the BBC reports that he has little chance of securing a Red Bull seat. The Red Bull leadership reportedly doesn't rate the Japanese driver highly enough, forcing him to explore opportunities outside the Austrian team. In contrast, Ricciardo, despite his underperformance, still has many supporters within the Red Bull hierarchy, with Horner being a notable admirer. The saga further underlines the power struggle inside Red Bull HQ, with Horner's decision to back Ricciardo not supported by everyone, namely Helmut Marko, who would instead like to see reserve driver Liam Lawson given a shot in the RB seat. But any influence the veteran advisor had over decision-making at Red Bull is said to have disappeared following the fallout from the controversy involving Horner. It's suggested an internal civil war broke out at Red Bull following claims made against Horner, which accused the Brit of inappropriate behaviour by an unnamed Red Bull employee, something he strenuously denied, with an independent investigation later clearing him of any wrongdoing. Regardless, Marko's position has been weakened in the aftermath, with Horner still ruling the roost at the 6-time World Constructors' Champions. Ricciardo will get the opportunity to prove his worth this weekend when the Formula One circuit rolls into Canada. Following that, it's another 1-week break before the race returns to Europe for back-to-back weekends in Spain and Austria. Lawson could potentially join Red Bull full-time next season, likely alongside Ricciardo rather than replacing the popular Australian. However, he will need to be patient regarding his Formula One future. Red Bull team principal Peter Bayer has acknowledged that the team is finding performance with both Yuki Tsunoda and Daniel Ricciardo in the car. Given the slim chances of a promotion to the main Red Bull team, Tsunoda may explore other opportunities. Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko has indicated that the team has several options for its 2025 driver lineup. The New Zealander is a strong contender for a full-time Red Bull seat next year and has warned that he will look elsewhere if not called up. However, Marko also noted that other options are available besides Lawson. It's a luxury problem, Marko told motorsport.com. We have another Honda driver besides Tsunoda who is finishing good races, and that is Ayumu Iwasa. He has not won a race yet this year in the Japanese Super Formula category because he had 2 bad starts, but he is still third in the championship. Tsunoda and Iwasa are 2 Japanese drivers who have long-term contracts with us, so we'll have to see how that continues in the long run. With Lawson vying for a race seat and other Red Bull juniors like Ayumu Iwasa in Super Formula, as well as Isaac Hadjar and Pepe Marti in Formula 2, all seeking attention as they progress through the junior categories, there is a queue of drivers aiming to make it onto the grid as early as next year. While Lawson had appeared to be a main contender for a seat next season, Red Bull team boss Peter Bayer explained that the team is in a luxury situation, with both drivers performing well and a strong grassroots pyramid beneath them. He added that a decision on the team's F1 2025 lineup is unlikely before the summer break. This season, Lawson is performing reserve duties for both Red Bull teams after competing in Super Formula last year and temporarily replacing Ricciardo. Liam is an extremely valuable member to the team, Bayer told media in Monaco when asked about what Lawson's future may hold. He's with us every weekend, obviously. He's doing a lot of work in the simulator, but currently we have 2 drivers in the cars. We are finding performance with the 2, and we really do not discuss the 2025 situation, perhaps because we're in a luxury situation of having that strong grassroots pyramid behind us. And so the focus is really on track and on the next couple of races until definitely the summer break. Despite recent struggles, Ricciardo claimed an impressive 4th place during the Miami sprint race and will need similar results to secure his F1 future. If he fails, the 34-year-old might find a lifeline with Tsunoda, making a surprising team switch, possibly to Sauber/Audi. For example, if Ocon moves to Haas, an Audi seat might become available. While retaining Bottas or Zhou is an option, rumors on the Monaco waterfront suggest that Yuki Tsunoda is now at the top of the list for the German manufacturer. If Tsunoda moves to Audi, it could solve a problem for Red Bull by allowing them to promote reserve driver Liam Lawson, who might otherwise start looking elsewhere for a race seat while retaining Ricciardo. So could Liam Lawson return to F1 next year? Red Bull faces the challenge of fitting 5 drivers into 4 seats if they want to keep Lawson. While Daniel Ricciardo has had a disappointing year, he could serve as a benchmark to evaluate Lawson's potential. The alternatives would be to drop Ricciardo and pair Tsunoda with Lawson, or to team Ricciardo with Lawson and leave Tsunoda out, which seems the less likely. The Honda connection will play a significant role in Tsunoda's future, as Red Bull's partnership with the engine manufacturer ends next season. Honda, moving to a deal with Aston Martin in 2026, has expressed interest in continuing to work with Honda Racing School graduate Tsunoda. However, Ricciardo remains an asset to the team rather than a liability. Laurent Mekies, the Red Bull team principal, emphasized Ricciardo's significant contributions despite his struggles to score points in 2024. Ricciardo trails teammate Yuki Tsunoda by 14 points this season, but as his contract nears its end, Mekies highlighted the various ways Ricciardo has benefited the team. Mekies, who first collaborated with Ricciardo in 2012 before the Australian moved to Red Bull and Mekies to the FIA, detailed Ricciardo's importance to the team's development. He described Ricciardo and Tsunoda as a valuable pairing and praised Ricciardo's specific contributions in helping the team identify and address gaps in their projects. It's a huge luck for this team to have a pairing of Yuki and Daniel. Daniel specifically in the context of the projects where the team needs to go and helping identify the gaps. It hugely helps to have somebody like Daniel that won 8 races, has been at a few teams and knows where the board can be and where the board needs to go. He added that Ricciardo's input has been substantial, even during races where his performance was lacking. Mekies acknowledged that Ricciardo initially struggled with some characteristics of the car that did not give him full confidence, but noted this challenge is common in the sport. At this stage in his career, Ricciardo provides valuable feedback which has helped improve the car. Yuki Tsunoda has been performing well, partly due to the insights provided by Ricciardo. Ricciardo's sensitivity to the car's nuances allows him to give detailed input on how to develop a race-winning vehicle. Tsunoda, on the other hand, tends to drive around problems, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but may not be the best for advancing the team's development. Therefore, the two drivers complement each other well. This dynamic could be a deciding factor in whether Ricciardo remains with the team. While beating Tsunoda this year seems unlikely, Ricciardo's value lies in his ability to help the team in other ways. With both Horner and Mekies defending him, it's likely we'll see more of Ricciardo, one of the sport's most popular figures, even in 2025 and beyond. Whether this is the right choice for a team aiming to break into the top 5, especially with Aston Martin's struggles this year, remains to be seen. Do you think Ricciardo will leave F1 completely? Let us know down in the comments below, and we'll see you in our next video.